For this activity, we're going to complete an annual sales spreadsheet for a restaurant called Healthy Hut. So project description says, after reviewing the annual sales report, it is important for Healthy Hut to identify which menu category produces the highest and lowest sales. Using the sales data helps Healthy Hut create a menu that is pleasing to its customers and profitable for the business. In order to effectively analyze the data, a pie chart must be created. So your job is to create and format a menu items annual sales spreadsheet that includes a list of menu categories, their quarterly and annual sales, and a pie chart for visual illustration. The first step on this activity is to make sure that you have a Google Sheet open. To do that, go to the assignment on Classroom. In the upper right-hand corner where it says your work, press Add or Create, and then Sheets. Use that one so that is already linked to Classroom. The next step is to fill in the data into the spreadsheet as you see below. So the previous spreadsheets we've done were already filled out for us in some ways. We just had to fill things in a little bit more. This one is completely blank, so you need to fill in this information here. This is where it helps to have your screen split so you can see the instructions and the assignment at the same time. While you're filling this in, please make sure you have the correct things in the correct cells. So I'm just going to start in the corner, and if I press enter, it goes down to the next line. If you are okay with filling everything in, make sure that you, for example, skip A8 because it's blank. And then you also skip A10 because it's blank over here. But if you're okay filling everything in, then go ahead and type everything in yourself. And once you have step 2 done, jump ahead in the video to where I start step 3. All right, so once you have all your information typed in, you noticed earlier that I moved everything over a little bit. That was just to be able to see a little bit more of the right side. But now that I have everything filled in, I'm going to make sure I'm split screen again and check one more time, make sure you have things in the right boxes, and do your best to make sure those numbers are correct as well. Okay, then you're ready to move on to step 3. Step 3 says format row 1 as bold. So if you look at row 1, we want to make all of these items bold. Instead of clicking on each one, you can actually just press on row number 1 by pressing that number 1 right there, and it selects the whole row, and then make it bold. Step 4, format the text in cells A9, A11, and A12 as bold. So that's this one, and, oops, not that one. This one, and this one. So we can just click right in the middle of A9 and drag down to A12. They're all 3 highlighted. The one in the middle doesn't matter, it's blank anyway, so we can press bold. Step 5, this is where formulas start. In cell F2, key a formula or use the sum function to calculate annual sales for sandwiches. In cell F2, type =sum B2 to E2. So F2 is right here. We want to add up all of the quarterly sales for sandwiches. So you could type it in, or instead, what I would do is use the function button. It saves you some time. So it might be at the top, but if not, press that more button right here, and you'll see this function button. Press sum, and then we want to add up B2 through E2. That's going to add up all of those numbers, and then press enter. It's going to ask if you want it to autofill for us. So if you look at the next step, it says use autofill to calculate annual sales in cells F3 through F7. Come back over here, and it's showing us F3 through F7. So it's giving us the right thing. We can press check here, let it do it for us. Be careful because there's another step in the future where we can't use that one. So just pay attention before you do that. But in that case, it automatically added up all the rows below for us and gave us our totals. So we are done step 6. We did the autofill. Step 7, in cell B9, key the formula or use the sum function to calculate total sales for quarter 1. In cell B9, type =sum B2 through B7. So total sales, we want to know how much did they make for all of these categories in quarter 1. So I can press in cell B9, go to function, another sum, we're adding it up, and we want to know all of these. So =sum B2 through B7, press enter, and it adds it up. Okay, so that was in cell B9. The next one says use autofill to calculate totals in cells C9 through F9. Now it didn't give us the option to autofill this time, mostly because instead of autofilling down like this one did, we're autofilling across. So we want to now know the total for quarter 2, total for quarter 3, 4. So another way to autofill, if it doesn't suggest it or if it suggests something wrong, is to click that little blue square in the corner and go that way. What that does is it takes the formula here, which is to add up B2 through B7, and now it's adding up C2 through C7, and now it's adding up D2 through D7, and so on. All right, so that was that one. Now in cell B11, we're going to key a formula or use the max function to calculate highest sales for quarter 1. So the max function is a little bit different than the sum. So we're in cell B11. This is highest sales. So basically, we want to look at this list of numbers and we wanted to find the highest one out of all of them. Now, in this case, we only have like 6 or 7 numbers to look through. But a lot of times when people do spreadsheets, there might be 200 or 300 numbers in a row. And the max button can easily pick out the highest or lowest for you. So that's what that's for. So we want to find the max. So we go to the function button. But we're not doing sum. We're going to go down to max this time. And we want B2 through B7. So it's going to look through these and tell us which one is highest. All right, so it picked 21,445, which is the first one, which is the highest out of all of these. Now, it's suggesting that we autofill. We don't want to do that for this one because this next one is asking for the lowest. We can't use the max function we used before to find lowest. So no, we don't want to do that. We'll come back to that one later. All right, so that was cell B11. We typed max B2. Now we need to autofill, but we need to autofill across. So cells C11 through F11. So here's B11. We want to also find the highest in quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4 annual sales. So we're going to click on that blue square in the corner. It's an autofill square and drag over. And you'll see that it finds the highest number out of all of these. Okay. All right, we're done with max. We're done with autofill. All right, so step 11, in cell B12, this is this one down here, now we're in the lowest sales. Key a formula or use the min function to calculate the lowest sales for quarter 1. So in cell B12, =min B2 through B7. So this is like max, but instead it's going to find the lowest number. And again, if you have a big range of numbers, that helps a lot for it to find it for you. So go to functions. Now we're going to go to min B2 through B7. All right. Press enter. It found it. This is the lowest number out of that range, so it put that in there for us. And then step 12, use autofill to calculate lowest sales in cells C12 through F12. So now we want to find the lowest all the way across. So press that autofill button in the corner, drag over. All right. We are done with the autofill. Along the way, if anything got moved around or something wrong happened, you can always press the undo button and try again. Autofill is very picky. You have to press that little blue square in the corner. That's the difference between autofill and just selecting, so be very careful. All right, 13, right align columns B through F and format them as currency, which is the $, and decrease the decimal place until the decimal is gone. So all of these numbers here, get rid of this little box. All these numbers here in columns B through F represent dollar amounts. These are sales. So what we want to do, if we want to select all of these at the same time, we can press right in the middle of column B and just drag over. So without letting go of the mouse, I just push down and then drag over to the right side. Now I have B through F selected. I need to first right align them. So the right align button is usually on the top, but because my screen is split, I kind of shrunk everything. So it's under here under more. There's a align button, and right align is here. So we'll just move those titles. Then I need to format everything as currency using the $sign and decrease decimal place until the decimal is gone. All right, so if I press the $sign here, you'll see all of these items get $signs and decimals, but they're all ending in 00. We're not using any change here. So let's get rid of the decimals. All right, cool, we're done that step. All right, the last 3 steps involve creating a chart. So we need to create a pie chart. So I'm gonna clear everything out. All right, I'm in a blank cell, ready to go. So first, we need to select cells A2 through F7. Then you're going to hold down Control and select cells F2 through F7. Both cell ranges to be selected. So basically, our pie chart that we want to create, we want to only have the names of the items and the annual sales. But notice so that if I select A2 through F7 or A2 through A7, and then come over here to F2 through F7, it took away the selection I had for A2 through F7. So in order to select both at the same time, I'm going to select A2, so click right in the middle of A2 and without letting go, drag down. Then on your keyboard, you need to press the Control button. It's on the bottom left corner. So just press that button and hold it down. While you're pressing that button and holding it down, select F2 and without letting go of the mouse or the button, just drag down to F7. Then you can let go of the Control button. Notice now you have both of these selected. All right. Then you want to do is go to Insert and then Chart. This is also a good time if something went wrong when you try to select anything, press that undo button and you can try it again. I know that spot's a little tricky, so just keep trying and see if you can figure it out. And if not, always reach out to me and I'll help you with it. All right. So we have Insert a Chart, but under Chart Type, we need to select the pie chart. So here you can see a picture of this chart editor over here. We need to select the chart type and we want the pie chart. All right, and it switches this around for us pretty easily. All right, now we're going to use the chart editor and customize the pie chart a little bit more. All right, so you'll see here it says customize, so select customize over here. Select chart and axis titles. All right, so over here we go to chart and axis titles, and we're going to change the title text to Healthy Hut Annual Sales. The chart and axis titles, title text, we want to type in Healthy Hut. All right, Healthy Hut Annual Sales, and just kind of click away somewhere and it's set. Then we need to select chart style and change the chart background color to gray. All right, chart style is up here at the top. And background color, there's a bunch of grays to choose from, just pick one of them. All right. Once we've done both of those chart editing pieces, it looks like that's good to go. So you can X out of that editor. The only problem now is the chart is blocking all that stuff that we did earlier. So the last step is to move the pie chart so it's below your spreadsheet. So just click on the pie chart. You'll see the blue lines come up around it. And drag down until it's below everything. So now we're not blocking anything anymore. We have our chart down here. It's really easy to see by looking at this chart that sandwiches and salads are the 2 big sellers. So if you really wanted to get a quick look at what sells well for Healthy Hut, you can easily see that these 2 are the largest categories. When you're done, carefully check your work, make sure everything looks good, and when you're done, you can turn this completed assignment in on Classroom.